Well, we have been anticipating this for a long time and it's finally here. It, and along with a little bit of a windy breeze, would you say? We'll call it a breeze. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Morgan is here. She's setting up her table. She'll be checking people in. Stuart's here. We've been carrying drinks and things to the back. I guess we need to put the cookies on the trays and we'll be garden tour ready. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, it's a little bit windy today, as I said earlier, but that's not going to stop us from having a lot of fun, is it?
Not at all.
So Paige is here, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about Impact Oklahoma. People have been asking me when I say we're going to do a garden tour for Impact Oklahoma.
Right.
What is it exactly? What is your mission? And what good works do you do around the city?
Well, we are actually a group of women, and we pool our funds and we award grants in $100,000 increments, which are transformational grants for a lot of the nonprofits in central Oklahoma. So we cover Oklahoma, Cleveland, Canadian, and Logan counties. We have given away almost $4.5 million.
Wow.
In our community. We have touched hundreds of thousands of lives, and I'd love to say, because we are from all four counties, so many wonderful women that have come together, a group of diverse women with a common denominator, and that is making an impact in central Oklahoma and people's lives.
And the others, speaking of diversity, there is a huge diversity of different kinds of causes that you give to, a whole broad spectrum. It's not just one category of giving. It is across a large variety of good causes. So how do you determine who gets your funding?
Well, we have 5 categories. So we have health and wellness, education, family, community, and arts and culture. So most nonprofits can fit into one of those 5 categories, and they go through a lengthy process, and we dot all our I's and cross all our T's, and really vet these nonprofits. And we come down to 5 finalists and have our annual award celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very level playing field. They come and they have a microphone, a podium, and 8 minutes to present. And then we actually vote that night.
The members
vote.
Okay.
The members vote, and everybody has one vote. We've had lots of people who said, well, what if we give more money? You get one vote.
You get one vote.
Very, very democratic.
Egalitarian.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love that. And if you want to nominate someone, if you have a good cause that you want to put before Impact Oklahoma, how do you go about doing that?
So we actually put it out to the nonprofit community, and we start out with letters of intent, and to make sure, because we don't want them to have to go through the whole process of submitting a grant request. It's very, like I said, it's very
easy.
It's tough. It's a tough process. And so that way it helps for them and for us to make sure that they qualify and meet our criteria. And then they actually get an invitation to submit a grant.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and we usually have between 60 and 70 applications. every year.
So if people want to find out more, where can they go?
ImpactOklahoma.org. I believe it's impactok.org. But if you put Impact Oklahoma in,
we
it'll pop up.
Yeah, and we will, of course, have the information in our description box and at the end of this video. So,
and I want to thank you so much for doing this.
I'm happy to do it.
Inviting us to your lovely home.
Well, it's my way
I'll
to
be taking lots of notes.
Back. Oh, well,
yeah.
I hope so. And lots of pictures, too.
Yes.
Well, let's go enjoy.
Okay.
Okay, well, you guys, Aviron has come home to the cottage. You may recall that it was at Stewart's originally, and then I couldn't stand it. I got tired of going over there to use it. So it's come home. I don't know that this is its permanent location, but it's been great so far. So here's the reason I am so obsessed about it. Number one, it is so easy on my joints. It's easy on my lower back. It's fun. It's interactive. It's just positive reinforcement that makes me want to keep coming back, and not just for my regular workouts in the morning. So right now I am doing one of the programs that is an extended program. You know, you do the first day and then the second day and the third day. And I love the continuity of that, the don't break the chain feel to that. So I know I will be consistent and I will be disciplined about doing it. But the other thing I love about it is that if sometimes in the afternoon I just am restless and I don't know what I want to do, I can do a fitness snack on here. I can get on, I can take out my frustrations on the rowers. Hubs can too. It gives me both resistance training and cardio. It really, and you can see I'm getting kind of out of breath just doing this demonstration for you. I love the fact that it is so adaptive. So when my sons come here, they'll be doing, I'm sure, the games, as will Hubs probably. Right now, Hubs is into just taking the tours, rowing to the tours in beautiful places. I'm into the programmed workouts right now. And you know, we're all kind of competitive in our own ways, but we're competitive against ourselves. And I like that because it can track what we do on Strava, you know, in my own fitness programs. And it's just, well, it's just, listen to that. And what I like about this versus the rowing machines that Hubs and I used to work on, it's got this cloud seat, so it's very soft, it's very comfortable. And like I say, I just need to find the perfect spot for it. But oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. You can tell it's such high quality. There is not one, well, Stuart, help me get it over here. There's not one, it doesn't feel unlevel. Does that make sense? It doesn't feel like it's shaking in any way. It feels very, very stable. And I also like the quiet of it. You know, when I'm on I've historically and recently been a treadmill gal, and it's loud. It's loud, and I don't like that. I also like the fact that because it can connect to Wi-Fi, I can watch like Netflix, or I can watch cooking shows. I can watch YouTube on here. I can watch myself if I'm reviewing a video or something. And what I like is it's another way to keep going at it, to pair this with that. So if in my mindset, I say, okay, I can only watch some silly, stupid show on Netflix if I'm on the rowing machine, then that too will help me remain disciplined and consistent with my workout. So if you want something that is just multifaceted for everybody in your family, gives you good resistance, good cardio, and gives you a lot of fun, works, I think, 86% of your muscles in your body, then you want to check out Aviron. By the way, they also have a treadmill, and what else do they have? And a bike. They have a treadmill and a bike. in their retinue, and I bet they are wonderful as well. If I find that I really miss my treadmill, then I may need to replace it with a sleeker model. Compliments of Aviron. They were all white. There was no pink whatsoever. Now the whites are fading, and now it's the pinks. Hey everybody, there's two ways to get to the back. The scenic route is the stepping stones this way, but it's not quite as foot sure. Or you can take the work route down the west side of the cottage, and it's a little bit more foot sure. But you'll end up in the same place either way. Just be careful if you've got on high heels or something.
No, we don't have high heels on.
Which is the best one?
Which is the best way? That's the
That way,
scenic.
right?
Yeah, that's the scenic route. But again, just be careful. Be careful. Tory Burch's showroom, or if you look at in magazines and things like that, she's also into topiary in a major way, and it's kind of a signature thing. So this is Myrtle compacta, and it's kind of hard to find. I get most of mine out of New York or Minnesota. Now this is a green mountain, but see these? That's kind of glossy. That's
Shinier.
Yeah. So so some of them, if you get a specific variety, they naturally grow in kind of a tight mounded form. And then over time I will clip them, and depending on which variety it is, it will get larger or smaller. So this variety right here is Babylon Beauty, and it will stay low and mounded, and then like in the front, if you'll notice, the boxwood's very tightly clipped, very architectural, and this back here I leave a little bit looser. Yeah.
I like it.
But it grounds the space a lot, and I love boxwood.
Well, so are these the blight resistant too then?
No, these are this is Green Mountain boxwood right here. It's another variety I love, and then this is Myrtle, and it's not even frost hardy, so you have to bring that in. All of these tinier topiaries, that's all compacta Myrtle, and you have to bring those in. So those were made famous originally by Bunny Mellon, Carnegie Mellon. Okay, and she was the one who first made those famous.
They are pretty phenomenal.
Very special.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It is, but when you love something, it's not nearly as.
I'm also just really impressed with your website and all your social presence. Like you do a really good job.
Oh, thank you. How kind.
Done it.
I was contacted by QVC to do a product line for them, and that was in the product line, and you could order it off of QVC.
Oh, okay.
But now there were too many issues with supply. They couldn't get in materials, things like that, and so you can't get it any longer. But you can get something similar to that one.
Oh, okay.
At Gardner's Supply.
At Gardner's. Begin with.
Some of them were, and some of them I
You just made
grew
into it.
from starts, and they turned into a topiary. So like these right here, this is just common boxwood. And these, they do
Oh, you
very
just had it
well.
like a hedge.
Yeah, so this would have been like a $4 boxwood on sale at the end of the season, and the ones
We
that
call it death row.
yes, death
I
row.
call it the TLC row. They
Yeah.
all need some TLC.
They need some TLC, but you can transform them into something pretty magical if
You can.
well, anybody can, just with a
She's
little.
so right. When she says you can, I said, yes, you can.
Well,
It looks
with a little
fabulous.
time and patience.
Yeah.
I wanted to live a more urban, walkable lifestyle down here, and my best friend lives within spitting distance, and I just love this. I love this area. And it's younger and a little bit more vital, I think. Lots of little kids on the street who come and visit all of the time, and it's very age diverse. So there's, every age is represented, which is wonderful because that's how it was intended when this neighborhood was first established, and it's still like that. And you don't go to this much trouble without wanting to share it with people.
Well, that's right.
So
My daughter lives really goes tender. She looks at the third garden. We'll show you
Uh-huh.
rats down here. So she knows that's just working kind of the garden.
oh, of course, I get that.
And she's at a
I get that a lot. In fact, yesterday I was just outside filling the doggy bowl with water. There was a group that had come from Albuquerque, and there was another group from Dallas. And if people are en route from one part of the country to another, and if in Oklahoma City is anywhere in the vicinity, they'll stop. So big. But boy, when it's in bloom, it's spectacular. And these bloom in kind of a blush, pale pink to white. And there's a climbing rose over that door over there. So it's a whole orchestration of bloom that unfolds over time. When one thing fades, something else comes in.
What's the name of the fluffy tulips?
Oh, the fluffy tulips. Okay, this is, if you want to do tulips, here's my recommendation. Number one, get them from a place called Color Blends. You can get them online at wholesale prices. Color Blends, yeah, colorblends.com. Go big or go home. Don't do 5 tulips. You want to do a minimum of 200 to 300. And truly, I promise, once you do 200, you'll think, oh, why didn't I do 5? Next year, I'm going to do 1,000. And this is what you see here, just in front is 1,000 tulips. So it's 500 of the white blend. And the thing about Color Blends is that the blends are composed so that some tulips bloom early, some bloom mid, and some bloom late. So that's why it seems like there's always tulips in bloom for such a long period of time, because they keep going in and out of bloom. So about 2 weeks ago, it was all white. Everything here was in white and blue. And that was all the white blooms, which are called Vidal. And so all of the ones that are fluffy, the double ones, the single ones, that was all in that same one collection called Vidal, Vidal. And I planted 500 of those. And then I planted another mix that comes up later than the whites. Now it's in its overlap time, called French Rose Blend. And it's all sorbet colors. So I planted 300 of those, and then I planted 200 of this one that's called Menton. And then the back are completely different colors and completely different blend. But that's how you get it to last a long time. And none of this one at a time. You dig a big hole, you put a bunch in the hole. I don't feed them. I don't do anything to them. And you plant them around Thanksgiving.
So her sister's a landscape architect, and she's a good buddy of mine, and she does. I mean, I bet she's got at least 1,500 in her front yard, and it's kind of the same thing. It's just like you drive by
Every day it's a different, it's a new bloom.
Yeah. And yes, you replant every year.
Yes.
And but I mean, can you imagine this without the tulips?
It's just spectacular.
It wouldn't be the same.
And you can't save
I
your
want
tulip
white
bulbs.
next year.
You can't dry them out.
There is a way to perennialize them,
Uh-huh.
but in Oklahoma, they don't reliably come back. And
Okay.
the only way you can get them to come back is to plant very specific varieties. You have to let them brown, and the foliage needs to die back completely, which means that there would be 1,000 dead tulips in front. And then you can't plant anything where they were that would require water over the summer, because then the bulbs would rot.
Okay.
So I just replant every year, and I've done it for 35 years, and I would rather not eat than not have tulips.
They're magnificent.
Cottage is going to make a pitch for Impact Oklahoma.
We're all gonna go to a room and talk about a timeshare now.
It's not about just giving your money. It's about really knowing more and more about what's going on in our own neighborhood. And I love the fact that we're from all over. There's so many. I'm Connie right here. All of these women right here. I didn't know them before I started Impact, and just wonderful, wonderful friendships that you'll have for the rest of your lives. And I like to say we are a diverse group of women with a common denominator. So we have our annual award celebration.
Change your name.
I know, I'm still working on it. But anyway, it's May 15th. We would love for you all to pick up an invitation and come and be our guests and see what it's all about. It's an amazing evening. We usually have around 500 people there. That's where we give away. We give the money away that night. So we have 5 finalists that come in, and they have a podium, a microphone, and 8 minutes to do their presentation. So it is a magical night.
They remind me of kind of sort of olive trees a little bit, but with beautiful berries.
I think I like this version better than the ball because it's so architectural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it just, these probably could be a ball, but it's just how you choose to tame them or not tame them.
Right.
Okay, ladies, the first shift has come and gone. How many were in the first shift, would you say?
There were 18 checked in.
18 checked in. Okay.
You think it was a couple more that kind of slid in, though? I think we had about 2 or 3 that slid
Okay,
in.
so about 20. The next shift starts at noon. Is that right? It
Yes.
starts at noon, and then there'll be another shift at 2. And boy, people stayed, didn't they?
Yes, they want to hear from the.
Well, I don't know about that,
Experts.
but they all seem to be visiting with one another, and they seem to be having a good time. And it seems like the wind has calmed down just a little bit.
Just a little.
I say that, and then we go sweeping down the plain. So, what if you were eavesdropping? What questions did most people have? What I got lots of questions about the tulips.
The tulips.
I heard them asking about each specific bush in the front yard,
Each
like what they
specific
were. What's
bush.
this? How tall do you keep it?
Yeah.
and
yeah.
how you get it all done and keep it so perfect.
Perfect. Well, it is garden tour ready. So, so it looks pretty perfect now. But that's one of the reasons I wanted to have a smaller garden, because I do have a certain standards of perfection that I like to keep it at pretty much at all time. And with a larger garden, that's really hard to do. And so that's an argument for scaling down, because now it's manageable enough that I can do, except for, I just can't do the really heavy stuff anymore. And so I get help with that. But on a day-to-day basis, in terms of like deadheading and watering, and of course the design, I can do all that myself. So, there is an argument for having a smaller garden versus a larger garden.
I know I'm happy to be sitting here today
Yeah.
in your lovely garden.
Yeah. So we're just going to wait for the next shift. Stuart is going to take some of this footage and he's going to go edit it. And I think we got some cameo shots. Maybe you caught some remarks people had to make, and we'll just wait for the next shift.
Oh, yeah.
Well, especially if you got it in Amsterdam.
Oh, that's adorable.
Thank you for documenting my purse. Thank you.